This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena, we're going to combine two of my favorite things, and that is the absolute nonsense that is OMNATH, Locus of Creation, and Yorion, Sky Nomad. This is a Bant control deck that is literally only playing the color red to play OMNATH, the Locus of Creation, and it's only playing the color green to play Uro and Lotus Cobra. So taking some of the absolute finest things from the Simic color pie and cramming it into blue-white control. We're still such a control deck that we actually have Neutralize in the pile as well, and I love Yorion and blue-white control, so we have Omen of the Sea, we have Glass Casket, and we have Charming Prince to run the loop, blinking OMNATH over and over. You guys know what I think of Skyclave Apparition. It makes the cut here as well, and Omen of the Sun to make some 1/1 creatures, really rounding the deck out, as well as a card that I haven't been running too much of. Look, there's no number. You guys see this? There's actually no number of how many Teferis. But yeah, I've been keeping Teferi on the bench a lot lately. Look at that. If you use that style, there's literally no number. But now you can just kind of see the 3. Can you see the 3? I can see the 3. Anyway, 3 Teferi Master of Time to try to help get through this deck, feed your Uro, and just honestly, sometimes you end up in the blink loops with the Charming Prince Yorion, and then you can phase the opponent's creature every turn, which comes in handy. Elspeth Conquers Death, key card, not too surprising there, and 2 copies of Amiria's Call as a split land, along with Balaged Recovery, bringing our total land count to 38? 38. 38 land. Plus 4 Cobra. Wait. Anyway, the mana base is just all the Triomes, the Evolving Wilds, 2 copies of that, and 4 Fable Passage, because we're not a ramp deck. So you're not going to see OMNATH here with Genesis Ultimatum and Escape to the Wilds. You're not going to see OMNATH get to Chapter 4 very often. Honestly, we're playing OMNATH for the card, the life, and the body. And as long as it's on the field and you're gaining 4 life every single turn, like, that's great. Also, the most common thing that you do with the mana when you do have a Fabled Passage and an OMNATH, or an Uro and an OMNATH, the most common thing you do is buy your Yorion and play it. So, not the explosive ability of the other deck, but more of a OMNATH control deck, which, this card, man, if they don't ban it, I'm gonna just find more and more ways to abuse it. Everybody is. The whole community is. Get used to the 4-armed elemental of doom. And here in this deck, it's got a new best friend. It's the 4-armed elemental of doom that fell in love with the Sky Noodle. And it plays out differently, but it definitely has a lot more interaction. It can remove a threat, whereas the other deck just has to go over the top at all times. And it's more of the style of Magic I like to play than the completely combo off with Ultimatum Escape to the Wild style. So hopefully you guys will enjoy it too. And with that, we're going to dive in. But first, today's Cool Kids Club, thanks for watching the whole intro, plug is for something most of you probably know, but just in case you don't, I have a Twitch channel. Oh my gosh. So I am live on Twitch from 4 to 6 Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Thursday, and I'm reminding you about it primarily today because that schedule might be different. If there is a ban announcement, which Wizards hinted at, or some kind of a standard announcement, whatever their announcement is, if that happens on like Monday morning or Tuesday morning, I'll go live so we can talk about it right away. So the best way to find out when I go live is to go hit follow, and there's a bell I think you can ring for notifications. The other thing you can do is join the Discord. There's a link in the description if you want to do that. And in my Discord, this one, there is an announcements channel that you can use, that I use to let everybody know when I go live. So if you want to know when I go live for some band talk, if there's a big announcement, that is how you can do it. Also going to be a plug at the end. Join the 26,000 followers. Also, the VODs over here right now are free to watch. They're not paywalled. The main reason I always paywalled was because the music would cause it to get muted, and then people would complain about the muted VODs. And I hate people who DM me to complain about free content. So I was like, all right, since I'm getting too many of those, I'm just going to paywall them. But right now I'm using music that isn't getting muted as often. So the VODs are available, and you see they've got, a few thousand people checking them out. So if you're interested in more content from the stream, you can check out the VODs. All right, that's the Twitch plug. Now we're going to dive in and let the Sky Noodle Omnath nonsense begin. Hand is pretty good. The opponent's on blue-black control. I think I learned that earlier. Hand isn't great against that, but what hand is? Like, our deck really is just designed to be a lot of power plays, so hopefully we can outgrind them. We do have to watch out for 4x Ashiok's Erasure. Only 4 of them. Maze Mind Tome. Very nice. Wish I always had it on turn 2. Yeah, green. Here's Cobra. Here's Cobra. Outside Chance at Teferi Master of Time next turn. They kept on top. It must kill the Cobra or produce blue mana. There you go. Easy removal. Well, we drew the untapped blue source, but dead Cobra means no Teferi. Let's get a Charming Prince onto the field. Another Cobra and an Omen of the Sea, huh? I suppose it lets me double spell next turn. But the Cobra is just gonna die. So it's a 1-for-1. Let's try to keep more cards that generate value and fight the value fight. Charming Prince attack. Okay. So you can't get this deck to tap out almost ever. You just have to go for things. And right now they only have 1 blue. So let's see if they can counter a Teferi. Of course. Easy negate. Nice work on the Maze Mind, by the way. Opponent having no problems whatsoever, having a billion cards. Let's see if we find a tap land off the Omen. We found an untapped land. An Omen of the Sun, that probably isn't very useful. We can't get both into our hand and use both. I'm just gonna bottom both. That's why. Too many bad draws in the deck right now. Cycle neutralize. We're still missing the other blue source. Alright. What do we need another land for next turn? I guess we want to hit our land drops, but I feel like we need more impact cards. Also, 2 Charming Princes eventually might get the opponent to do something if they get to attack. Still cycling. Just, they need that double blue. They know, right? Alright. Bye-bye Yorion, probably. Elspeth Conquers Death hits the Ashiok's Erasure, though. buy another one. That Agonizing Remorse was brutal. Let's see, do they have the blue? It's tapped! Okay. So we can end step Omen and then go for the Yorion. Attack. Get Yorion countered? Probably. But we have to get in under an Ashiok's Erasure. Too easy. Alright, now they have to do something about the board. They have the Crawling Barrens that they can block with, but it takes a lot of mana. They take it all. Yeah, we're out of the game. The game is effectively over if they can resolve their extinction event and have a counter for Elspeth Conquers Death. That's where we are. There's the event. And they have neutralized mana. This game is done. If they have it. We could try to scry into something, but that makes our Yorion worse. So it's not a good idea. Just flood it out. Nothing to be done. Okay, that they didn't get rid of the ECD. So ECD on the board means that they'll get taxed next turn and we get a Yorion the turn after that, but they can Agonizing Remorse the Yorion from the graveyard. That's what they're gonna do. Just no chance, man. No chance.
I was out of sync.
Worst draw in the deck, possibly. But we'll hold it. We might get a Teferi out of this deal. Other worst draw. Okay. They actually got rid of the Teferi, not the Yorion, which is interesting. Alright, now we have to back build spells and try to force something through at the right time. Our opponent is at 2 life. The Omen of the Sea tokens are potentially lethal. Alright, maybe finding another Omen of the Sea wouldn't be so bad. Oh my goodness, the flood. Neutralize. Heartless Act a token. Okay. Extinction event. Let's fight. Didn't expect to win, but getting the opponent to 1 here is big game. It takes away Agonizing Remorse until they can activate a tome enough times. Skyclave Apparition can attack. How many negates? We've been negated 3 times. Okay. Down to 2 cards left. Let's play another Apparition. This is an even and an odd, so it does play around. They do have the Crawling Barrens for a block. It plays around Extinction Event is what I was trying to say. They tap the Baron. They tap the Barrens. They tap the Barrens. They needed an untapped land anyway, right? Did they get got by Auto Tapper? They still needed an untapped land to solve everything. Oh my goodness. We're definitely in the phase of dead standard, waiting for a ban announcement a week after a new set came out too, where I'm only playing the same people over and over. This one is mono red. And this hand is okay. Being on the draw is really bad, but it might be able to hang. I think this is go get a white source. No awkward draw from the opponent here. They've got 2 threats on 2 turns, and they're well on their way to their Embercleave. Cobra. This doesn't do green. Mana strikes! Okay. So what do we do? I really want the Apparition next turn, so I could play this tapped, or I could play the blue and plan to bolt myself and play the Apparition. That would let me play Omen, which I think I should just sit on. Alright, this comes down tapped. Should have fetched green. Was a mistake. Was a mistake. And the opponent has a Bone Crusher Giant handy. At least that's what I believe. So, who wants to go? The Hellhound requires land to be good. The Fervent Champion. We both become 1/1s. And Bone Crusher Giant is probably just going to turn it back into a 1/1. I'm going to get rid of the Champion. It's an obnoxious card to have to block, and if there's ever 2 of them, you lose. It's the rule. You just lose the game. If I thought the Skyclave Apparition were to live, then I would have taken the Hellhound because I'd want to block the Champion, but it's not the way that cookie crumbled, is it? Can't Uro, no green. I've played this game horribly. Alright. So we'll go fetch. I was hoping to Cobra Uro something else, but that is not an option here. And this is the Embercleave part, right? Maybe? Okay. No rush from the opponent. They have a million Bone Crusher Giants. Well, they played the Cave, choosing to use it as 2 damage here from the Hound. That's a good draw. That's a really good draw. I like 4 life. As we try to get to Uro land. If the opponent kills this Omnath, we get Uro back. They cleaveless. They are cleaveless. They are not taking it to Cleveland. So what is their hand? Just a bunch more creatures playing around a sweeper? It's not a Torbrand. It might be a Torbrand. They could be trying to go wide here for Torbrand. Yorion. Another Cobra, too. But without a fetch land, that's not great. Alright, I'll draw you. ECD. We should probably... Yeah, we should definitely play the ECD. I don't think the extra mana is actually going to matter, but we can find out. Clean up one of these giants before terrible things happen to us. We got back up to 18. Opponent goes to 6 lands on the battlefield. And here they come. Alright, we want to trade off where we can. We want to do awkward blocks where we can. We block here and like here. If the opponent Embercleaves, they can also castle, which means that they kill this. So I think it's over here because it's a free equip. And this is 10, 11, this is 12, 13, 14, 15, not quite dead. And we trade with one of these creatures. We could also do a chump block like this and prevent more damage that way. I think I like it. Just try to stay alive as long as possible. Castle activates. Nothing else? Maybe. Ah. Bone Crush. Uro can come back. Or we could Yorion. But Uro gains life, which is normally better. But blinking the Elspeth Conqueror's Death gets rid of the Bone Crusher Giant, which is their best creature. Okay, we'll do the Yorion. And if we're going to do the Yorion, we'll do the Omen. Are these both fine? Unclear. Also not sure that another Elspeth Conqueror's Death is really what I want, but at this point, as long as I take out Embercleaves and Torbrands, I should win. No more Bone Crusher. ECD, please. I've got enough of them now. That's enough. That's enough ECD. Thank you, 80 card deck. You did the thing. These are fine. More life. Happy to get more life. There's an Annex. There's a Bone Crusher Giant. Opponent keeps on coming. 2 more. I don't have enough white sources to play all of the things I want to play. We have to figure this out. I could get the Yorion and get double Yorion triggers, but one of these would be left over for at least another turn. I think the idea here is to gain as much life as possible, which is Charming Prince, Glass Casket, bring back Uro. So I could take out the token and later get the Annex, but I'm nervous about that play, so I'm just going straight for the Annex here. Exile the Yorion. Could have attacked first. Hellhound. Sad Hellhound top deck when you already have 7 lands on the field. Not where you like to be. Oh yeah. Then comes the burying of the red mage. Absolutely getting buried here. The real question now, how much can they take? Sure. I'll hit my land drop, I'll grab this neutralize. The answer was not much. It could not take much. Interesting hand. Is it a lot of lands or a lot of spells? Let's give it a try. Okay, we want to play a Cobra if we top deck one. So I'll play the Balaged Sanctuary. Temple of Milady to the bottom. So now I am pretty sensitive that I might flood out. So maybe we save this to cycle. Normally I'd play it tapped here. Let's play the Miria's Call tapped. Turn 2 Ramp Critter. Hell no. Skyclave Apparition. Nope. What is the opponent cooking? Another Scryland. To the top. It makes me salty that we have temples, but we also have cards like Robber of the Rich, and we also have cards like Thieves Guild Enforcer. It just feels like the temples are always a bit of a joke. This can go to the bottom. We have a red source here. I would gladly trade with that ooze. You know what I should have done? I should have attacked, offered the trade, and then maybe Omen of the Sun. Well, the opponent wants the trade. Okay. They might have another ooze then. Hmm. 2+1/+1 counters? That doesn't work. Alright. You got me. Bit of a blowout. They can also eat the apparition. So we need to find some answers and some board presence and really just anything. We need to find cards that don't suck. That works. I want the red, but I also want the untapped blue. So blue it is. We don't have an OMNATH yet, so I shouldn't be overthinking that. Very tempting to hit the token and then Yori in the casket to get the ooze later, but the ooze is so threatening. They let it go. They leave the apparition in the graveyard. Still trying to figure out what I'm really up against. We can neutralize that. Trying to figure out what's going on with this green-black deck. Seems like proper mid-range, doesn't it? I remember proper mid-range. In my day, proper mid-range, mid-ranged. Now we need this tapped. Let's buy the Yorion. We could have recovered something, but we want the land drop to go with the OMNATH next turn. Lucranos it is. Skyclave Apparition. Alright, so now I have nothing to do with 3 mana. Let's just buy something back. Let's buy an Apparition back. It seems to be really good against them. Just exiling all their toys. Let's see if they want to do the inscription on this. Would have been quite the blowout if they did have another Inscription of Abundance there. But we just come back with another Apparition and they know it. They know it. Alright, step 1. On God. No Night Pack ambushers for me to fear anymore. Here's OMNATH. There's Uro. Ooh, baby. We're gonna make mana. I don't have a use for it. It's kind of embarrassing. But there you go. Look at that beautiful mana I can't use. This is not a deck set up to exploit that, the mana generation. Just kind of the 4 life and the draw a card aspect of Omnath is enough. Rats. Oh, the Ooze versus Uro chess match is it's a doozy. Prince, alright. Play this first, then play the Yorion, blink these. Gives the opponent back an Ooze, but then we exile. Okay, they don't wanna see what Yorion can do. This is a pretty good hand. Top 1000, here we come. Is this the hand to get us there? It's a lot of tap lands, but powerful spells. I think I lead on the temple and try to find an untapped land to play. Oh, it's good colors. Okay, I'm just gonna play behind a turn until turn 4 or later, and we'll see how that costs me. Our opponent's given the blue vibes, which usually means I can get away with tap lands. Give him the teamer finger with the Triome. Just Fable Passage for Swamp. What have we got? Not rogues, please not rogues. Well, I don't know. I think I am favored in a control battle as long as they don't have Maze Mind Tome, because Yorion grinds them out. So, let's see. But rogues are tough. They're all flashy. And they counter your spells sometimes. Castle definitely implies it's a blue-black control deck. Yeah! Let's go. Let's counter stuff. I honestly think I'm just going to cycle at least one of these, but let's see what the opponent does. I really want to play the Omnath when I can also use it, and with a Fable Passage on the board, and with this setup of lands, I just need like any untapped land to play the Omnath. And use the mana right away. Oof, it's gonna be great. Back up Omnath. Whiff. Why, deck? Why do you be this way? Okay. Play the Cobra. Heartless Act. Haha. I mean, this isn't usually something I'd fight for, but because of the way that the mana is breaking down this turn, I think it's right. So double white, we need double green for the Uro, so we'll grab this, make blue. Plus the opponent, they just have to kind of panic and try to figure out how to get this off the field, and they only have one swamp, so it might mean that Omnath resolves, which puts them on the back foot, and then if they blink, we have Neutralize protecting a threat, and then they're in big trouble. They don't know well, they do know I don't have a land. I didn't play one last turn. So, in theory, they could just let this Cobra live. They know I'm not really using it. But they do not. They go after it with Drown in the Lock, which implies rogues. Evolving freaking Wilds, baby. Well. Okay. Alright. We've got an extraordinary individual over here taking control of the game. Thieves Guild Enforcer. Very rude. Could you mill an Uro if you're gonna mill me? How many drowns you got? Soaring Thought Thief, sure. I'll get recovery. So what can we do this turn? We can't play the ECD, we don't have double white. We can play the Casket, and we can play the Recovery. What can Recovery get? It can get another Omnath for when that dies. Okay, I'm into it. Alright, give me the Thought Thief. Because it keeps milling. It's a very obnoxious card. Maybe it was supposed to be the Enforcer. Let's get a backup Omnath. For when the opponent... So I can trade this one without feeling bad. Will they give me something to use an ECD upon? A Rankle? A Scavenger? What's it gonna be? Alright, buddy. That's enough drowning. Is the last card also Zerasan? No, no it's not. Okay. Try this again. Nice. 4 life. Make mana, get the Yorion. Too bad we can't also cast it. We're one short of that beautiful moment, but we can hold up Neutralize. So, do we allow ourselves to get Zerasan the Trickstered? If the opponent takes an Omnath, we have something to target with the ECD, so I think that's okay. Just because it's annoying and kind of evil doesn't mean that sometimes you shouldn't let bad things happen. It's not the worst. Counter that. No need to let that happen again. 4 life. Elspeth Conquers Death, get rid of the Trickster. Next turn we can blink it, get rid of the Omnath as well. The opponent's deck isn't set up to abuse it, so we can just take the hit, because we always just gain more life. It'd be really funny if they like had a Fable Passage and sort of went off and played like 2 or 3 expensive spells, then I'd be like, ugh, why'd I do that? Okay, can't stop that. But it's back in the graveyard for ECD to get later. Merfolk Windrobber. Ow. That hurts, but everything's good. They're down to 1 card. Yorion is worth at least like 2 or 3 here. And another Glass Casket. We can point that at the Windrobber and see if the opponent does anything. If we have an empty Glass Casket on the board, we can blink it later. I just think that all they're going to do is sack it to draw a card, which isn't important. So, here we go. Yorion. Yep, they drew a card. Would have been awesome to have a Charming Prince to get back my own Omnath, but that can wait. I'll also save a Miria's Call. We might make some 4/4s. Probably will make some 4/4s with this much land. Another Casket? I mean, against rogues, we'll take it. Another land. We could save that for the Omnath. Gain some life. So, do we? Yeah, we're going to go for the call. So there should be blockers on the field. You have to remember Zareth-san the Trickster when you're playing against this deck, that it can be flashed in on end step or ninjutsu'd. Yep, I had a feeling. Can you clear 2 angels? Draw a card. The answer is probably not. Facing lethal damage in the air right now. They played their land for the turn. Okay, there is a Heartless Act. So now we don't have lethal. So if the opponent attacks, they force a trade. They do not attack. Come on out, Omnath. And that's all. The opponent will see no more. No more. All tap lands on the draw. Only a single potential white with an apparition that we may not be able to cast. An Omnath. I really don't know. If the opponent's aggressive, this hand probably gets completely destroyed. So let's mulligan it. Alright. We can go fetch green, play Cobra on 2. I don't know if we want Omen of the Sun or Omen of the Sea, to be honest. Because we don't know if our opponent is aggressive or not. On the draw, let's be conservative, assume our opponent is aggressive. They also said hello before we finished our mulligan, which is a very sus and very aggressive tactic. That different kind of aggression. A different kind of aggression from what I expected. They're going after the 80 card deck. Alright, let's see if you are ready for Cobra. Too bad the plane stops us from bringing Uro out. Oh, looks like we have to replay the Cobra anyway. So let's do it. No counter. I guess we can play a Charming Prince. How adorable. And we do want double green for the Uro. What are we doing with Charming Prince? Scrying doesn't do any good. Let's just gain 3 life. Because the opponent just ends up milling our scry. Tutelage. Okay, dude. Oh, and they have black in the deck as well. Okay, okay. So Rogue Mill at its absolute finest. We're gonna make him deal with Uro, though. You're gonna have to be ready to deal with Uro. Still 60 cards to go. Good luck. We'll see. I mean, sometimes they... Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, Fabled Passage with Crab is such a frickin' tilt. It really is. It really is such a tilt. Every time, I just... No. Alright, do I still have an island? I better still have an island in the deck or I'm gonna be mad. Okay. Trying to think of what, does it matter what types? I guess we want to keep our creatures and planeswalkers because of Elspeth Conquer's death as much as possible. We do have Balagan Recovery. Yeah, we need to be mindful. Just exile things that we know we wouldn't get back. Alright, they're all tapped lands, so I guess we're also playing our Omen of the Sun or getting our Yorion. And we'll be aggressive. Hopefully we can set up with this neutralize next turn and keep the opponent from casting into the story. Some kind of a draw 4. Second crab, no! Stop! Stop, crab! I mean, eventually they stop hitting every single land drop, right? Eventually? That's how it works? That's how Magic is? Omnath, okay. How do I hold up the neutralize, though? I don't think I do. I think we just buy the Yorion and hold the Omnath. I should make that play first. Don't know why it lit up the tutelage. Scared me there that I was like, it reminded me of Narset when Narset lit up red to let you know you were an idiot. Alright, if we put this onto the battlefield here, we'll get a mana that we can't use. Oh, we get a scry, that's useless. Thought Thief. Do I want to neutralize that? Not really. Let him have that. We'll push that to the bottom to hopefully get it later. Right now we just want to keep them from resolving something along the lines of a draw 4, and we should be able to win the game. Don't counter stuff just because you can, kids. Counter stuff that matters. That really matters. $35 cards to go. Da da da. They even top decked it. Man, you always have to play around your opponent getting super lucky because that's how Magic is, man. They find a way to dumpster you. So, the Yorion Prince Loop can begin, or we can exile the tutelage in case they top deck another one of those things. If we top deck a land, we can get mana off Omnath, but we probably can't get the damage. So I think the safe play is Conqueror's Death on the tutelage. The Thought Thief can eat the Prince, which is not ideal. So it's just Uro getting in there. And Uro gets in there. Why didn't it keep a green open? I think I just got played. Auto tapper. What purpose could you possibly have to not leave a green open there? One with a land off the top. Thought Thief. Just gotta go for the deck, man. Those extra 20 cards looming large over this battle. Blinking this doesn't do much. Alright, let's have a good time. Let's attack first, though. Oh, neutralize? Now we want to leave that up. Rather than go for Omnath into Yorion awesomeness. Sorry, I know it's boring. I like to win. And I'm not sorry. Actually, we can play Omnath here, then play the Evolving Wilds and be able to crack it on our opponent's turn to make the last blue mana for the neutralize. Or we can just play this. So we done here? You don't want to see what I'm gonna get after you put my whole graveyard, my whole library in my graveyard? You don't want to see me figure out what to get back with the ECD? It's so much fun. And we are back for the post-game wrap-up, and this deck is fine, and I would play it again. It's very much my style, and very fun. So, if you like sort of a more control-y approach to the Omnath ramp, I'm not sure it's better than a teamer deck with more control. Omnath is moving in this direction where now everybody knows that it can combo off, so everybody is packing interaction and counter spells so that they can kill the Cobra and stop the Omnath. So, in order to combat that, Omnath then starts playing counterspells themselves and some more early interaction. You can do that in a Teamer type shell, a Bant type shell, because this is 4 colors. You have access to all of the colors. I've played against Omnath decks that ran 4 mystical disputes. It's kind of crazy all the directions you can go, and until it's banned, may as well explore what those are, and this one is one of my favorites, so I hope that you check it out. I don't have recommended changes because honestly you could change it however you want to. It's an 80 card deck, you can move things around. If I were to personally make some cuts, it would probably be the Teferi Master of Time, because I think it's just okay and not absolutely necessary to what the deck is trying to do, but I also see why it's around. So, your call. What do you want to change in the deck? How do you want to edit it to your taste? Do whatever you like. There's also a sideboard for you best of 3 mages. Hit them with the negates, the shatter, the skies, and the mystical disputes. So if that's what you're into, go for it. All right, here at the end of the video, a reminder that I'm live on Twitch Monday through Thursday, 4 to 6 Eastern, or if there is a ban announcement, I will go live right away and you guys can come check it out. And the best way to make sure that you know when I'm live is to head over to Twitch and hit this little follow thingy here, which is totally free. All right, thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.